Welcome to New Life Live with host and founder of New Life Ministries, Stephen Arterburn. For 35 years, New Life has been transforming lives one at a time thanks to the giving hearts of you, our listeners. Our goal is to provide you with wisdom from God's Word to give you hope and help in life's hardest places. If you have a question you'd like to ask today, our phone lines are open. Call 1-800-229-3000. That number again is 1-800-229-3000. Now here's Steve.
Hi there, and Merry Christmas. Now, this is a recorded program, so I hope that it's a good one because we're out celebrating. I should have decorated our little logo tree there. By the way, a lot of people don't know that there's a brain in the middle of that tree behind me, and I want to be sure you do because that's the way I designed that little logo, because when our lives are transformed, they're transformed because we allow God to come in and change the way we think. We reprogram the brain. We let God do that. And what a great experience that is. And many of you are like me. You've made some really dumb choices in life, and it brings all this heavy burden of guilt, shame, whatever. And then you reach a point, you've had enough, and you surrender, and this peace starts to settle in. And it's really hard to describe. It's hard to understand how you can go from being so riddled with so much pressure and weight, and then all of a sudden, God's burden and God's responsibility that he puts on you, it's so light, it's so manageable compared to what we create ourselves. That's what I want for you this Christmas.
Steve,
Yeah,
I
Alice.
did need you to point out the brain for me. I did not see it on my own, but I see it now. But Steve,
Really?
truly. I've been talking to some families recently that truly, because of New Life and because of what I and these families have learned from New Life, they're going to have an alcohol-free, porn-free, infidelity-free, bickering-free Christmas because of how New Life helped them break out of unhealthy patterns.
It's wonderful. And to be doing this 35 years later, we started 35 years ago last month, and here we are. We're still being given this gift of helping people. We love helping people, and when we do, it's not just to feel better, it's to transform everything. That's the goal. Chris, looked like you were going to say something there, and I didn't want to.
No, yeah,
I
I just really on this Christmas day, wishing everyone just what Alice was alluding to, the gift of wellness, the gift of freedom, and that internal freedom that we have, and really the heart and soul of what we do here at New Life is helping people enter into that gift and to what you were starting with, Steve, a new way of thinking, a new way of perceiving, a new way of feeling, a new way of doing life that leads to more life, as Christ promised us.
You know, and it's really interesting, the contrast between Santa and God, because you don't really want a lot of Santa. I mean, having him run around the house all year, smoking a pipe, smelling things up, he's overweight, eating a lot of food, stuff like that, doesn't shave. Well, but God's presence.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Santa delivers the goods. Well, we don't want to just be in relationship with God because we want stuff from God. Want God. Your soul was created to connect with God. And that presence is wonderful. It's amazing.
You know, Steve, to that point, Santa may deliver the goods, but God is the goods.
Yeah, right. But a lot of times with our prosperity gospel stuff, we get people focused on what we're going to get from God.
Yeah.
And then we miss God.
Yeah.
Don't do that. See, now maybe God had you listen to this program right there for that. Just that, right there. Well, we'll go to calls when we come back. Glad you're with us. Merry Christmas.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit it's addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have Christ-centered partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
I chose to support New Life because I believe that New Life really changes lives. The work that New Life does is transforming the workshop and the radio program, I believe, makes such a lasting difference, not only in the marriages and the personal lives of the people that New Life helps, but also in the lives of their friends, their families, their children. And for a lot of people, I believe that listening to the New Life radio program is all the help that they're able to receive when they hear people that are struggling with similar problems and the incredible insights that New Life provides. It's hard to think of an investment that you can make with your resources that will have a more lasting effect than the effect that New Life has in the lives of the people they touch.
Mm-hmm. I love that and so grateful for that testimony right there. Hope has a resume and wishing doesn't, and false hope doesn't. But there's so many people today. You're probably not even listening today because you're so engaged with your family. And I just love getting these Christmas cards of families that are intact. They're together, and they say thank you for helping us to heal. And maybe this is a tough day for you. Maybe you're in your room by yourself listening to this program or going down the road by yourself. Maybe this could be the last time you do anything, any holiday by yourself. You call us 1-800-NEW-LIFE and we'll help you the best way we possibly can. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. All right, let's go to the phones. How about that?
Let's
go. How about Shay, Sacramento? And, so here we go. Shay, you're on. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me. I've been listening to your show since I was a kid out in the Midwest. Y'all saved my parents' marriage, hands down.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And I went to Lose It for Life years ago, and I really appreciate you guys.
Well, thank you. Well, Merry Christmas to you. And is there anything we could help you with today?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was talking to my dad and about my little daughter. She's 4, and he said, well, call New Life. I said, oh, yeah, duh. And so I'm calling y'all today about my daughter. She's 4. She has been at this Christian preschool since she was 2. She's a wonderful kid. She's beautiful inside and out. She has just she's just great. And, but she's great at home and not so great at school. So, over the last 6 months, she has had some pretty serious behaviors at school. And, she's spitting, she's hitting, she's throwing stuff. I mean, she's like outburst screaming. And you just go, what is happening to you? At home, nothing. She's fine. We might have a moment, like maybe once, max twice a month. But otherwise, she's great. She's great at home. And I'm a pretty no-nonsense parent. She doesn't get away with anything with me. I don't know what to do. And her teachers are going, well, you know, hurting other kids. And, it might come to a point in time where we have to make some choices of if this is really the greatest fit for her anymore. And this is, this is a great school. She's an amazing spot. And I don't know how to help her. I don't know how to support these teachers and parents
and Shay,
from work.
Do you know of anything negative happening at school that is triggering and upsetting for her?
So from what I've been told, it's just like a switch flip. Like she'll be playing, she'll be coloring, and then like it's just a switch, and she just starts into hitting and throwing like this huge tantrum. And no one can really put their thumb on what the issue is.
And it's not with one particular person. She can be reactive and aggressive with any of the people in the classroom.
Any.
And has there been any medical review of how she's doing physically? Any changes there?
There has been. So in the last 6 months, we found out she's having some pretty good digestive issues. She had an endoscopy, a colonoscopy in October. She's on medication to keep her going to the bathroom, but she's going to the bathroom now. And we're still having these behavioral outbursts.
And is she wanting to go to school most days?
So most of the time, she does say, I just want to go home. I want to be with my family. I want to be with my mom, my dad, my brother. She has a younger brother, and she's great. She's so gentle, beautiful. She's great.
Okay. So I just wonder if all of the acting out is a deflection or an attempt to get the focus off of what's really troubling her, which is kind of an embarrassing area of the body. I just wonder if she's trying to get people to focus on one thing or even distract herself from that area that has become a problem. Chris, what are you thinking it might be going on here?
Yeah, and Alice, I'm so glad you asked that question about anything physically or medically going on with her, because pain and sudden pain can behave its way out. And one of the things that we want to come back to is the principles is so much of the focus becomes on a child's behavior. And I think it's the wrong focus, to be honest. And no, don't get me wrong, children need boundaries. They don't, from harming themselves and each other, for sure. However, the behavior itself is your daughter's primary form of communication. And it's as if no one can hear what she's actually trying to say. And she may not even know, to be honest. And so what I would encourage is like a really, really good child therapist will help work and figure that out, will help your daughter be able to find the language and find the words and find what she needs to do to express herself in a way that isn't damaging or destructive or threatening to other people, including herself.
So what I would want to do if it was my daughter, I would want to have, and in the public schools, they have people that would come in and observe and assess. But I would want to have a child psychologist that could go and observe the classroom and observe what's going on, and then when something happens to be able to talk with her, and because they're a child specialist, be able to find out what really is going on inside of her. Because obviously the teachers aren't able to figure it out, and you're not able to figure it out, why in this classroom she's a different human being than she is at home. Or you say it's like 1 or 2 times a month she might lose control at home. Well, that's pretty minimum. For most kids, it's a little more than that, and they're just normal.
Right.
So I would want somebody to be able to observe and make an assessment of her in that other place, in the school.
Okay.
And I want to give you a couple of questions to practice with her at home, and then I hope the teacher will team up to ask these of her at school, which is, you seem like you're getting upset. Where are you hurting, and what are you afraid of? And she may not be able to answer that at first, but I want you to help teach her how to answer that, and even get into where in your body are you hurting, where in your body are you feeling fear. Because if the behavior is connected to the physical pain she's experiencing, that will help her start to connect the two things so that her real need can be met, which might be her tummy's hurting, or something along those lines. But I also do wonder, is she afraid of somebody at school? Has a child been hard towards her, been upset with her, and is this a reaction to that? So we're trying to get answers to those two questions. But then I also want you and the teacher to really clearly lay out with her, it's okay to be angry, but when you behave in these ways, these are what the consequences will be. And you'll have to keep brainstorming what loss of privilege will have an effect on her, have an impact on her, so that she can know ahead of time, you're going to lose this, X, Y, and Z, if you hurt other people. But what we want to do is get to what's really happening when you're getting angry.
Yeah.
All right. And Shay, if I can jump in with one more thing, I want you to just notice for yourself the intensity that you feel around this issue. Yeah, it's a lot, right?
Yeah. I'm taking notes.
Okay. So Shay, one of the things that I want your daughter to experience from you is a sense of acceptance and confidence. That mom accepts, not that the behavior is acceptable, but accepts your daughter for who she is and how she is.
Okay.
And is confident that you can work through this issue.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
we'll get it squared away.
For sure.
Yeah.
What I'm mentioning that because your daughter is going to probably take a lot of emotional cues from you. And this isn't to put too much pressure on you, but just to be aware, she's going to take, if I'm really, really wrapped around the axle around this, then my daughter may also be wrapped around the axle on this. Now, I can be to my adult friends that can help me process, but to her, I want to really display that, hey, yeah, we got a thing we're going to work through, and it's tough right now, and it's difficult, but we're going to do it, and we're going to figure it out, and we're going to, we love you, we care for you, and we're going to get to the other side of this.
Yeah.
Not make a mountain out of a molehill.
Yes.
Right. But, I've told this story about how I remember at age 3 seeing my father eat the cookies that we had set out for Santa and drink the milk we had set out for Santa. And my immediate thought was, how could Mom let him do this? So rather than think this was Dad's inconsiderate behavior of Santa, Mom should have prevented it. So I do think there's a desire, kind of an innate desire for Mom to fix things versus Dad. Mm-hmm. And so I would do whatever it took to find the answer. So maybe it's an after class play therapy session. Maybe it's a new counselor. The assessment I'm talking about, I think, would be really helpful. But do whatever you need to do to gain some insight into what's really going on inside of her. And I got to tell you, I've had these digestive problems all my life. And, not all my life, because I got it fixed. And earlier in life, it was embarrassing, and it was hard to deal with. And so it's not like having a wrist that's sore. Mm-hmm. When it has to do with the digestive tract, it can really be a problem. And so you want to be sure that she's able to share with you that it's painful, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all of that. And I hope something we've said has been helpful here, Shay. I really do. And I'd like to know how things turn out. I'm going to just send you a copy of the One-Year Bible for Women. I hope that you'll like that and enjoy that. My wife did the commentary on that, and a lot of people really like it. Glad you called, and we'll pray for this 4-year-old little girl that there'll be physical healing, emotional, spiritual healing, relational healing, that they'll find out what is this that causes a child that's really great at home to be different at school. I would want to know. I'd do anything I could. If it's my daughter, I'd do anything I could to find out what is causing this bizarre behavior that I don't see at home very much. All right, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. If you need some help, we want to help you. We can maybe find a specialist for you, or your daughter or son or husband, wife. That's what we've been doing here for 35 years, and we'd love to do it on Christmas Day. It's 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We'll be back after this. Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and when Jesus has your heart changes. And often it changes the way we view money. Jesus had dinner with a little guy named Zacchaeus, and all of a sudden, this man obsessed with money wanted to give half of everything he had to the poor, and those he cheated, give them 4 times as much as he had taken. You see, he wasn't worried about giving too much. He was worried about doing the right thing. I don't know of anybody who's ever given too much. As we give, we receive right back in blessings. Please help us here at year end.
To make your tax-deductible gift, visit newlife.com and click Donate. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or text NLM to 28950. That's NLM to 28950.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
By the way, in the Garden of Eden, 4-year-olds didn't have problems. Well, there wasn't ever a 4-year-old there. But anyway, if there had been, it's a perfect place. But we're not in the garden. We're outside of it. And so problems happen. And, you know, one of the things I've learned in my 70 years here on earth, it's not what happens that's as important as what you do after it happens. Your response to it. And, you know, Take Your Life Back is all about not reacting, but responding in a mature, spiritually sound way. And if you need help with that, you call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE, because our godly response perseveres. It doesn't give up. It seeks and seeks and seeks the answer until we solve the problem. And so many people have, you know, it's a blessing to have the internet. They go online and they look and search, and then they find the people that know something. They're the best at it, and they follow their direction, and things get better. And you can start that search with us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
And bizarre or seemingly inexplicable behavior, if we can look long enough, there are answers and there's reasons behind it. There's always meaning behind it, but we got to keep digging in order to find it.
That's right. All right, let's go to Pam, Boston, Massachusetts, WEZE. Hello, Pam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Steve?
Well, I'm good today. Of course, this is recorded, so I'm projecting that I'm going to be good on Christmas because I usually get
Christmas.
fun things, How are you?
Yeah, good.
And what can we help you with?
I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I had a question. I've heard a lot about, the groups that you, the life recovery groups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be a part of that in this new year. I've been in a dysfunctional relationship for a long time, and I've been needing to get out of it. And, one of the kind of catch-22 for me is just the economy and being able to find affordable housing in an area where there is good support.
Now, are
And
you
I
talking
think
about
that's
you're married to somebody? Are you married, or what's the situation?
No, I'm not married, but it is. It's been a just dysfunctional and being gaslighted, and having gone through a sexual assault and some things like that. Yeah. So,
How long have you been together?
A long time.
Long time. Well, that's so sad, and you feel like because of the expense involved in moving out, that you're kind of stuck. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Pam, you're right that Life Recovery Group would be immensely helpful because you need community and you need increased sisterhood around you in order to get the stability and get to escape, get to a place that is safer for you. I feel an urgency that I want more for you than just a recovery group. And especially because there's been an assault, a sexual assault. How does it affect you for me to bring up something even faster, like looking at shelters, looking at receiving more acute help because you're in danger?
Yeah, I'm looking for those resources. I've been online, looking for those resources. And, I'm afraid. I honestly am about, once I'm in that place, how will I get to the next step? And I understand it's about faith, but it's also practical in terms of wondering, there's very little affordable housing, and I don't know where I'm going to go after being in a safer atmosphere that's temporary.
Yeah. Yeah, Pam. So yeah, it's a really scary, terrifying place that you're in, and it's hard because again, I can't be homeless. Quick question: do you have other family or friends that would be willing to support you?
Well, it's almost like this has been hidden.
Yeah.
I don't feel really safe, doing that.
Okay, so let me let you know what the brain does. When we're in a dangerous situation where we think there's no way out, our prefrontal cortex, which is our best, most creative thinking, shuts down, and we go into our limbic, which is pure survival. So accessing all of the great ideas and solutions are actually hidden from us, because oftentimes they're hidden in plain sight, only because our brain doesn't allow us to go there. The tough thing of exactly what Alice was saying is that we got to get safe first. When we get safe first, then the mind opens up, and you do have to take these courageous steps to not keep this hidden, to allow the resources and the people and the love in your life to come in and support you to help you out of this situation and get you into a much, much better place.
It's always tough. The right thing is usually the toughest thing. And you just have to find a way to do the right thing rather than be an enabler of evil in the wrong thing.
We all have struggled with weight problems all our lives. This involves not only the health side of it, but the spiritual side of it.
If you're ready to begin a comprehensive plan that provides freedom in every area of your life, New Life's Lose It for Life online intensive can help. This online intensive features Zoom sessions presented by Steve Arterburn and Elena Al-Sharu on Saturday, January 27th, plus 4 small group process sessions facilitated by a credentialed New Life Network counselor.
Of all the things, the best part for me was the small group time.
If you're finally ready to stop going from diet to diet and begin a comprehensive plan that addresses the psychological, emotional, and spiritual aspects of a healthy lifestyle, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or go to newlife.com.
It is a life change. It is not a diet. It is not just a plan. It is a life change.
1-800-NEWLIFE.
I have given to New Life regularly because I have so many people that I am referring to New Life who so benefit from the ministry. I just can't imagine what would happen in my area if New Life wasn't available to us.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the new member thank you gift of all 8 100-day devotionals, including 100 Days of Prayer, 100 Days of Freedom from Depression, and 100 Days of Peace. There are also ongoing benefits like the monthly Club New Life CD or download, access to the Club New Life video library, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, discounts on workshops, and quarterly online meetings with Steve. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
So, Alice, maybe just be very specific what you would recommend that Pam would do just to move the needle forward, so to speak.
Pam, I want to give you 3 phone calls to make. And before I specify, I know you're worried about down the road, money, how will you have a roof over your head? You may need to get into a shelter or get with a family member out of the presence of the perpetrator first. I don't want you to get stuck in thinking too far down into the future that until you figure all that out, you can't get help, because that's just not true. Right. I want to break you out of that. And so I want you to call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. You can just Google that to get the phone number, because there'll be immediate resources and a guide to what steps to take to how to get safe. I want you to consult with an attorney. If you two have been together for years, even though there may not be a legal marriage, there are still legal rights that you have. And I suspect that there are some severe threats this person is making against you for you to have this level of fear of what will be perpetrated next. Yep. And then thirdly, I want you to let us connect you with a coach in your area so that you don't do this alone. We can hold your hand, because we have expert coaches who have walked through this so many times with other victims and can help get you into a place of safety and security.
Yep. I'll send you, well, it comes out in April, but we'll put you on the list to get you Every Woman's Bible, and I hope that'll be a great blessing to you. And we'll talk to you off the air here about just helping you, encourage you to take the next step. So sorry. You know, I hate it when people move in and then it's abusive, because it's so hard to get out of these relationships when people move in together. And you just have to do whatever it takes to do it. Now, by the way, we have a matching gift, $200,000. And if you want your gift, year-end gift, to be matched, all you have to do is text MATCH to the number 28950. 28950. In your messaging there, you text MATCH. Or you just call us, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. If you're looking on the YouTube channel there, New Life Live YouTube channel, there's a little QR code. Makes it really easy. But please help us here at year end to bring hope, help, and healing to folks that need it. All right, let's go back to the phones. And let's talk with William, and he's calling us from Strasburg, Pennsylvania. Hey, William, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? I'm all right. My question is, me and my daughter, I have a 26-year-old daughter. Me and her have been estranged for a while. Her mother and I were never married. We had been estranged, but I had a relationship with my daughter. Then we were estranged. She recently came back into my life, and I'm trying to figure out what do I do, because I'm having all these feelings of failure because of the past and all she's been through, and I'm finding it really hard to feel like I could be that father even now that she needs me to be, because she's going through so much. And I just, I want to be there for her. I want to help her to get her life straight and all that, but all these feelings coming up of the past and the failures.
Okay, so that's not going to go well if you're in a bad place, so to speak. Chris, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I think, William, I think you sit down with her and have a heart-to-heart, a dad to daughter. And please know this, that we have in our minds an ideal relationship with our parents. And that ideal that we have in our minds, what we'd want or wished it to be, tends to be very different than the real relationship that we have with them. And there's a gap between the ideal and the real, and there could be a lot of pain in the middle of that gap. For you guys, and for you in particular, there's a lot of shame in that gap between the father I should have been and the father I actually ended up being. And so there's a lot of unreconciled things inside of you, and who you want to be for her and who you are. But I think that having a conversation with her and laying it out for her, and in this particular way, not too much, but this way, I feel awful about not being there for you in your life. And those are things that I'm still working through, and I want to be there for you now the best that I can. And even telling her, like, hey, I'm not requiring your forgiveness. I would love for your forgiveness if it's in you, in your time and in your process. And now the other admission is, I may not know how to be your father right now. So can you tell me what you need?
Yeah. And probably the worst time to do any kind of sermonizing and
no lecturing.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's all about connecting. Alice, you have a thought here real quick before we go?
William, the sense of failure is almost an intolerable feeling, and so most of us medicate it away somehow. And just tell me briefly, has there been a historical way that you were able to escape feelings of failure in an unhealthy way?
Saved, I was heavy into alcohol and drugs, and I got saved and that went away. I had a couple lapses, but it was pretty much gone. But I've also struggled with pornography and pornography and masturbation and whatnot. I went to the Every Man's Battle, and it helped. It was a blessing, but I have slipped a couple of times since then. And
I think what we're hearing is that you're a very disconnected, loner kind of guy. Is that right, William?
Yeah, I think you could say that.
So you got to find these recovery groups. So it's not just going to an event. You got to follow up and get the support. Alice, anything else you want to say here?
Well, William, I think you're feeling what's mostly a holy conviction that you know you're not right now in enough structured help, that sanctification process, to hold strongly to your sobriety that you've been able to get off and on. And so I think God is nudging you, William, get back into the process of overcoming failure so that you can grow into the man that you want to be and that you've been working towards. And don't forget sustained victory. Those are the groups that you engage in after every man's battle, and it's what helps hold you strong.
And I'm going to send you this book, Every Believer's Thought Life. It's a good one, and it really is about sustaining the different perspectives that we can develop other than I have to go and use. So I'll send that to you and hope that'll be of help to you. Let's go to, how about Carlita, Omaha, Nebraska. KCRO. Hi there. How you doing?
Hi. Yeah.
How can we help?
Feeling kind of depressed.
Okay. What's going on?
I wrote it out, so just let me read it, okay?
Okay. All right.
My husband and I went to California to visit some cousins, and there was something that happened there that caused me to experience depression and anger. My husband and I went walking with a cousin, a girl, on a trail to the Hollywood Trail. And it started as a threesome, and it ended up the two of them walking together. And I felt abandoned.
Wow.
And when I confronted him about it, he said he knows that he should have spent more time with me. And so I just want to know, what is my next right step? We have talked to our pastor and wife. I'm not sure where the paper is, but...
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So I'm assuming this isn't the only time that you felt like he was not really focused on you, right?
Yes. He's made me angry a lot of times, just yelling at me for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd make a comment about something, and he'd yell at me.
Yeah. Because he's not really living up to the vow that he made to you when you got married. And he's giving, well, who knows what else is going on. The music's playing. When we come back, we'll give you some help here. You want to know the next step forward, and we want to give you that. I wish that the pastor had just said to him, hey, do you want to be a godly man? Do you want to be the man that God called you to be in this marriage or not? And just be upfront and honest if you don't. A lot of times, people are a victim of us not being upfront about really a bad direction we're headed. When we're honest, we can get some help.
We all face days where life throws us a curveball and our routines or plans get disrupted. Things we wanted to do are forced to take a backseat to the unexpected demands of the day. If you normally listen to New Life Live on a radio station, well, you might not be able to that day. And on these hectic days when you're feeling stressed or frazzled, hearing the sound of counsel given on New Life Live is just what you need to navigate the unexpected things of life.
Every time I'm troubled or I have a problem, I'll cut on New Life, and there's always something that is said that is helpful to me.
By listening, I have learned more than I can ever express about how God wants me to live.
Download the New Life app for the easiest way to listen wherever you are and at a time that's convenient for you, or watch the show on our YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to our podcast from your favorite podcast provider. You never have to miss a day of New Life. Wherever you are, we are.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for over 34 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for your life and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-639-5433.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We are back, and oh my goodness, how sad to be ignored or just have someone you're married to so lost and caught up in themselves that you get left behind. Alice, what do you think Carlita should do here? She wanted to know what's the next step forward, not backwards.
Carlita, it was very good that you and your husband went to see the pastor, and we want you to add on to that structured professional help for his anger, which is spilling out of control at you in the way he yells at you, and your depression, which sounds pretty severe. I don't think it started in this California visit. I think you've been feeling it for a long time, but there was a tipping point on that trail walk. And if your husband is willing to get more help in addition to seeing the pastor, it's such a good sign for your marriage. But no matter what he does, I want you to get strengthened so that you can set the necessary distance from him if he continues to mistreat you, because this is a problem that's not fixed overnight. It's a process. And giving him that message of, I'm not willing to be treated like this. We both need help. You for your anger, me for my depression, us for our marriage. If you continue to yell at me, I will take the necessary distance to be able to protect my heart from being mistreated like that. And that distance might just be walking out of the room, but depending on his level of willingness, it might have to be bigger than that for a time for you to get the safety you need and for him to get the help that you both need.
And just a short mention that there is no value when a guy is mean to you and then says, oh, I'm so sorry, and then does it again. That's just a manipulation. So let me send you Sherry Keffer's book, Intimate Deception. I think that's what's going on here, and I think he's involved in a lot of stuff that you're not aware of because he's just so blatant about ignoring you and betraying you. He's caught up in somebody else's life here, the cousin. Can't believe it. So a repeat offender.
And real quickly, Carlita, I also think it's two personal histories of pain bumping up against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of that, I would really, really encourage you and your husband to attend the Intimacy and Marriage Weekend in February out here in California. I think that could be unbelievably helpful for you guys.
Could change everything. Really could. We'll tell you about that. Maybe there's some scholarship money available. There is a fund. And, great day to give to that fund because it's a matching fund here on Christmas Day. Final caller is Angel from New York City. Listens on Sirius XM Satellite Radio, channel 131 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Angel, how you doing? Merry Christmas.
I am well. Merry Christmas to all of you, and I'll make my question as compact as possible.
Okay.
My ordaining pastor, he was going to marry us about a year ago. Apparently, his health situation advanced, and his wife felt that he would not be ready to perform the ceremony.
Okay.
That broke my heart. And we had other friends, pastors, and we were able to go forward. But my question is now, how can I continue to show love to him and his wife where they've become kind of secluded? And it breaks my heart because we go back so long, and I just don't know how to continue to extend myself because there seems to be a little dome of protection there, of which I understand, but I struggle with it. I really do.
Angel, are they in communication with you, or has that even ended?
We're in communication by text, but it's nothing like it used to be.
And go ahead.
Yeah. No, you go ahead.
If you were to ask them at what level can you be in their lives? What are they? How close are they willing to let you in? Do you have any guess how they'd respond to that question?
Actually, that's a very good question. I can ask that. That would be the one. That would help me out a lot because I just didn't know how how to ask that. And I think that would be the way to go.
So he's not continuing to preach, is that right? Or is he?
That's correct. He's retired. He's retired.
Okay. All right. Well, there's obviously some embarrassment and misunderstanding there because you want to provide compassion and support, and she's resisting that. I don't know if your wife could have a connection with her, but that might be helpful. Chris, what are you thinking here?
I think also, Angel, that you have to begin to come to terms with grief in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as his health has declined, as he's struggling, he may not be able to or know how to show up in the relationship the way he used to. So he may not know what to do. The wife may not know what to do, know. And so they're in just this really tough, confusing, scary time as well. And so they're losing something very valuable. You're losing. So there's a grief process. And I think that just cultivating acceptance.
Yeah.
I accept them for who they are and where they're at, including the painful acceptance of the distance in the relationship.
Sometimes saying to her, someone like her, I would like to come over every Tuesday night at 7:30 and just be with him. And I want to put it on the schedule, and I want you to count on me. And you could actually go out and do shopping or whatever you want to do. Be with friends. I'm going to be here. And sometimes that's the way to establish yourself as somebody that will not be judgmental or shaming. You'll be understanding, caring, and loving. Alice, you had something you wanted to say here real quick?
They also may need to hear from you that although it was sad not to have them lead your wedding, that's water under the bridge. You don't hold it against them.
Yeah,
you
right.
love them and you want to reconnect with them.
Yeah. Right. All right. I'll send you a copy of Every Man's Bible. Hope you'll enjoy that. And I'll send you the 1-year Bible for men also. It is Christmas, and I'd like to close out the program with a prayer for you, for all that listen, and a couple of comments afterwards. So please join me in a Christmas prayer. Lord, thank you for coming to this world in such a humble way as a little baby in a manger, and having shepherds be there at the manger, at the barn, and experiencing that. Lord, thank you that you're calling out folks that aren't just wealthy, or you're calling out, and you're calling everybody equally. In your eyes, we are all valuable souls that you have sacrificed the life of Christ and to save. And so, God, please make this a good Christmas for those that haven't had good Christmases. Make it a healing Christmas for those who have just had some of the worst times mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. And make this a day of hope for those who have just been stuck in despair. And Lord, if we can help anybody, please inspire them to call us and get the help they need. Amen. Well, Chris, Alice, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry
Merry Christmas to everybody out there. And I hope and pray that you're about to have one of the greatest years ever. And it begins on Christmas Day saying, I surrender anew. See you next time.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again on Monday for New Life Live.
Thanks for watching today. We love helping people. I hope you sense that. And we know that there's always hope if you find the right resource. Now, if something we've said to somebody else applies to you, that's fantastic. That's what we're hoping for. But also, if you want to join us directly, you can call 1-800-229-3000 between 1 and 3 Eastern Time, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Those are the best times to get through. And while you're here on YouTube, check out these other videos that we've done to help people see where they could grow or a different path to take. And if you do that, would you give us a thumbs up on the video, and please subscribe to this channel. There are many ways that we can help you outside of the radio program, and it's very hard for some to pick up a phone and dial 1-800-NEW-LIFE, but when you do, we put you in touch with somebody who cares about you, knows all the resources out there, and they're going to find the best for you. There is no reason to struggle alone. I hope to see you tomorrow. Hope you'll invite somebody else to come and join that maybe needs just a little bit of help along the way. I'll see you next time.